Right now, somewhere in the Pacific, a ship is moving through the dark carrying weapons that didn't exist 5 years ago. Hypersonic missiles that no radar can reliably track, lasers that kill in complete silence, torpedoes that chase you through the deep ocean and simply refuse to miss. This isn't a list of what America is building. This is what America has already built, tested, deployed, and quietly aimed at problems the rest of the world hasn't solved yet. 10 weapons, some you've heard of. Some will genuinely surprise you. And number 1 just returned to sea in 2026, carrying technology that rewrote the rules of naval warfare overnight. I'm not sure impressive is the right word anymore. Let's get into it. Number 10. Mk-45 Naval Gun. I know what you're thinking. Position number 10 on a list of America's most powerful naval weapons, and it's a gun. Not a laser, not AI, not nuclear, just a gun. But that's exactly why it's here. The Mk-45 is an automated 127mm cannon sitting on nearly every destroyer and cruiser in the US Navy. Range of over 38 miles. 20 rounds per minute. No manual loader, no manual targeting. It just needs power and a command. And with new long-range munitions currently in development, that 38-mile range could soon push past 60 miles. But here's what actually makes the Mk-45 dangerous. Not the range, not the fire rate, it's the history. Decades of real combat without a single moment of letting anyone down. In the world of military hardware, reliability isn't a secondary feature. It's the most important feature of all. I've seen newer, flashier systems get pulled from service because they couldn't survive real conditions. The Mk-45 just keeps showing up. If this is the most boring weapon on today's list, I'd start preparing yourself for everything that comes next. Number 9. Phalanx CIWS. Picture this. A supersonic missile is closing in on your ship at over 700 miles per hour. The crew sees it on radar. Someone reaches for the radio. Someone else is already running. The Phalanx doesn't wait for any of that. Before a single order is given, it has already detected the threat, calculated the intercept, and opened fire. 4,500 rounds per minute, creating a wall of metal the missile simply cannot survive. The whole sequence happens faster than the human brain can process what's occurring. No orders, no hesitation, no panic. Here's the part that makes you think though. We built a machine specifically because we decided humans were too slow to protect ourselves. And honestly, we were right. The Phalanx has been proven in real combat, exported to over 24 countries, and so far, it has never missed its moment. That's not a weapon, that's a guarantee. Number 8. Mark 48 AD-cap Torpedo. Let me set the scene. You're the commander of an enemy submarine. Everything is quiet. You're running deep, running silent, running fast. Then your sonar operator goes very still and says 3 words you never want to hear. We've been pinged. Somewhere behind you, a Mark 48 is already in the water. It travels at over 55 knots, range exceeding 30 miles. And here's the part that keeps submarine commanders awake at night. If you maneuver, it adjusts. If you dive deeper, it follows. The AT version processes targeting data in real time, making it equally lethal in deep ocean and shallow coastal waters where torpedoes have historically struggled. The underwater explosion it generates can literally bend the hull of a modern aircraft carrier. There is no trick. There is no escape route. There is only the question of how much time you have left. Number 7. HELIOS Laser. Every weapon on this list makes noise. Missiles scream, torpedoes rumble, cannons shake the deck beneath your feet. Helios makes no sound at all. It fires a beam of focused energy exceeding 60 kilowatts, and whatever it touches simply stops working. Drones fall out of the sky. Sensors go blind. Small vessels catch fire. All in complete silence at the speed of light, with zero reaction time available to the target. But honestly, the number that changes everything isn't the power output. It's the cost per shot, practically zero. A single interceptor missile runs into the millions. Helios runs on electricity. As long as the ship has power, it has ammunition. In 2025, USS Preble took down 4 drones in a single test. Clean, silent, effortless. The future of naval combat doesn't look like an explosion. It looks like a utility bill. Number 6. SM-6. Most weapons have a job description. 1 page. 1 mission. Do this thing. Do it well. Go home. Somebody handed the SM-6 that job description, and it apparently didn't read it. This missile can shoot down aircraft. It can intercept cruise missiles mid-flight. It can destroy ballistic missiles in their terminal phase. And if you point it at an enemy warship on the surface, it handles that too. 4 completely different missions. 1 weapon. Already installed on destroyers and cruisers, the U.S. Navy has been sailing for years. No modifications, no additional infrastructure. Just load and launch. But here's what I find genuinely unsettling about this, and I mean that in the best possible way. When an enemy commander looks at an American destroyer on the horizon, he has absolutely no idea which of those 4 missions that ship is currently configured for. Is it hunting aircraft? Watching for ballistic missiles? Ready to strike his fleet? He doesn't know. He can't know. And in modern naval combat, that uncertainty sitting in the back of his mind, quietly, persistently, is just as dangerous as the missile itself. Number 5. Naval Strike Missile. Most missiles just need one thing: to hit the target. The NSM wants more than that. Built into this weapon is an AI-assisted targeting system that identifies the exact type of ship it's hunting, then calculates the single most vulnerable point on that hull. Not somewhere on the ship. The exact spot where the damage will be most catastrophic. And it finds that spot while flying at low altitude, hugging the ocean surface, staying below conventional radar for as long as possible. By the time an enemy defense system finally picks it up, the decision has already been made. The approach route is already chosen. The target point is already locked. Range over 100 miles. Stealthy, patient, precise. I've thought about this one a lot. And honestly, the moment a missile starts developing its own tactics, the line between a weapon and a soldier gets uncomfortably thin. What do you think? Number 4. LRASM. If the NSM is the smart missile, the LRASM is the careful one. Most anti-ship missiles fly a straight line and hope the defenses don't catch them in time. The LRASM doesn't think that way. It plans. Before reaching its target, it actively maps the enemy's defense systems, calculates which approach routes are most dangerous, and reroutes itself accordingly. It flies low. It avoids radar. It takes the long way around if the long way around means surviving long enough to hit. And here's what keeps enemy naval planners genuinely losing sleep at night. The NSM and LRASM can be launched together. One is hunting the weakest point. The other is quietly finding the back door. By the time anyone realizes both are incoming, the conversation is already over. Number 3. SSGN Ohio. Right now, somewhere beneath the ocean, there is almost certainly an Ohio-class submarine sitting completely still in the dark. Nobody on the surface knows exactly where it is. The crew hasn't made a sound in days. And inside that hull are 154 Tomahawk cruise missiles pointed at targets that have already been selected, already been calculated, already been loaded into the system. It's just waiting. Originally built to carry nuclear weapons, these submarines were converted into something the world hadn't quite seen before. A precision conventional strike platform that can also transport 66 Navy SEALs for covert operations. Massive firepower and elite infiltration, sharing the same hull, completely invisible. Here's the thing about the Ohio that I find most unsettling. It's not the 154 missiles, it's the silence. Number 2. Trident II D5. Let me give you a number. 190. That's how many consecutive test launches the Trident II D5 has completed without a single failure. Not 190 out of 200. Not 190 with a few close calls. 190 launches. 190 successes. In the entire history of ballistic missiles, no other weapon holds that record. But here's what I want you to sit with for a moment. The Trident II has never been fired in actual combat. And that's not a weakness. That's the entire point. Each missile carries up to 8 independent nuclear warheads that separate mid-flight, capable of striking 8 different targets simultaneously. A single Ohio-class submarine carries 24 of them. I'll let you do that math yourself. Range exceeding 7,500 miles. Accuracy within 300 feet at intercontinental distance, launched from a submarine that nobody can find, from an ocean nobody can fully monitor. Every government on Earth that thinks seriously about confronting the United States eventually arrives at the same calculation. The Trident II D5 is not a weapon of last resort. It's the reason last resort never arrives. Number 1. Conventional Prompt Strike, CPS. Here's something that happened while most people weren't paying attention. In 2026, USS Zumwalt quietly left the shipyard and returned to sea. 3 years in dry dock, both main gun systems removed. And in their place, 4 launch tubes carrying 12 hypersonic missiles capable of flying at Mach 5 and above. For the first time in history, an American surface warship is carrying hypersonic weapons. Not a submarine, not a classified prototype in a test facility. A destroyer, sailing right now. But speed alone isn't what makes CPS terrifying. Plenty of missiles are fast. What makes CPS different is the flight path. Traditional ballistic missiles follow a predictable arc. Up, over, down. Every serious air defense system in the world is built around tracking exactly that trajectory. CPS flies low, non-ballistic, unpredictable. I've said this before about other weapons on this list, but I mean it most here. That ship is out there right now, moving, watching, ready. And nobody outside a very small room in Washington knows exactly where. So here's what stays with me after putting this list together. Every single weapon you just saw. The laser that costs nothing to fire. The torpedo that never loses its target. The hypersonic missile flying at Mach 5 right now on a destroyer somewhere in the Pacific. Every one of them started as an idea that most people would have called impossible. Someone wrote it down anyway. Someone fought for the budget. Someone spent 20 years making it real. And here's the part that genuinely keeps me up at night. What we showed you today is what they've already told us about. The declassified programs, the announced contracts, the weapons that made it into the press releases. Nobody knows what's still sitting in a classified folder somewhere. And based on everything we just covered, I'm not sure I want to. If this video made you see the ocean differently, drop a like, share it with someone who'd appreciate it, and subscribe so you don't miss what we cover next. We'll see you in the next one.